right. Welcome everybody, welcome, and thank you for being here with me today. I am excited. I hope you're excited as well. I hope you're feeling optimistic, and I hope you're ready for this training. So for those of you who are jumping on, will be jumping on, and will be seeing the training after, if you're not able to make it today, this is my annual training, Loving Your Body Through the Holiday Seasons. So we are going to be going through so much value today. I'm going to be giving you guys so much. If you haven't already, I know I've mentioned this, but go ahead and grab this workbook. I made this workbook specially for you. If you don't have this workbook, I was having trouble sending it over the email. A link for the workbook to download is right here in the comments. So you don't need the workbook, but it will be very helpful in laying out all of these notes, giving you an opportunity to write in your own notes and brainstorm yourself what makes sense to you and what you would like to try after this training. And it will really give you a foundation and something to turn back to after this training, and even for the rest of the year going into the new year. So I'm super excited. I hope you're excited. Let's get right into it. So if you are here today, if you have decided to join this training or sign up for this training, it is because there is something inside of you that hasn't given up hope. Given up hope that there is even the slightest possibility that you can heal your relationship with food, and the slightest possibility that you can learn to love your body, regardless of what those immediate toxic thoughts in your head are telling you. I'm talking deeper than that, my friends. I'm talking deeper than all of the BS that is fed to us from diet culture and the weight loss industry and childhood trauma and the biggest influences in our lives that make us believe that we are not beautiful just as we are. Hello to everybody who is joining. There will be more people trickling in, and this training will also be available for immediate replay after and for the rest of the year going into the new year. So thank you if you're here with me right now. Drop a comment. I see a couple of comments. Thank you guys so much. So what we're going to be focusing on today is that feeling, that deep feeling inside of you, not the voices, the superficial voices that you hear inside of your head that are telling you that you are unworthy, unloved, ugly, fat, disgusting, worthless, whatever it is, but that voice inside of you that brought you here today, that knows that there's hope and that there is a possibility for you to heal your relationship with food and heal your relationship with your body. I'm here to tell you that it is 100% true. So I hope you are ready. I hope you're feeling optimistic. Let's see, we have some comments. Proud of you. Oh, thank you so much. I hope you are feeling optimistic. We have a lot to go over today, and I want to start with a quote. So this is going to be on the cover of your worksheet. You might have the digital version. You might have the physical version if you're going to be writing in it. But even if you have the digital version, you can use the prompts and take notes. You're going to want to take notes. So make yourself a warm drink before we get too far into it, which won't take long. And let's get started. So loving your body isn't thinking your body looks good. Loving your body is knowing your body is good regardless of what it looks like. This is a quote by Lindsay Kite, and ever since I read it, it spoke to me. And it's because the theme for our training today is separating our self-worth from our bodies, right? We don't want our value as a human to be directly related to what our body looks like, or what we think it looks like, right? Because we always think we look worse than what other people think. We are our own worst critic, right? And we hold a lot of value in what people think of us. And if we don't think we look good, or we think other people don't think we look good, we think we are less valuable as a human. And so our theme for the day is to separate that, and not only that, to give you the tools that you need to head into the holidays, minimizing some of the fear around food and fear around these food feasts and our favorite sugary sweets and alcohol, and nurture positive body image through the holiday season, right? If you're excited, let me know, because I'm excited, and I know I've said that 1,000 times, but I am, and I see so much value and hope in you, and I know that it's possible for you too, okay? I'm not giving you some magic formula that's going to work overnight, or that's going to 100% heal your relationship with food or body image immediately. But these are the steps and the tools that I have used over the course of years throughout my recovery process, and going on to get my certification as a health coach, and bringing me to where I am today, where I'm excited. I'm excited about the holidays. Like, bring on the cake, bring on the cookies, bring on the alcohol in small amounts maybe. Anyways, so yes, you'll see at the bottom here, set yourself up for success. Get a journal, get a warm beverage, get a cell phone so we can stay connected after, and I can hold you personally accountable. And let's get started. And the last thing I want to say to you really quickly is, you will get out of this what you put in. Don't let this be just another video, another training, another blog post, whatever, another thing that you read or watch and don't apply. We are in this together. And I don't want to leave you with information overload because you're still left knowing not where to begin. I'm going to give you strategies, simple step-by-step strategies to begin to apply immediately after this training. And that's exactly what I want you to do. Use this as that one training, that one video that motivates you to start taking consistent action to building the habits that will help you heal your relationship with food and body image for the long term. So for those who have the training or the worksheet, you can skip past the second page, and the third page, if it's digital, you'll have the links. I don't have the links because I've printed it. This is just how we can stay connected on social media after. And then you'll see at the bottom here, it says, what are your biggest concerns heading into the holiday season? Is it avoiding weight gain? Is it mean comments from your grandma who never stops talking about what your body looks like and how it's changed every year? Is it eating too much sugar and feeling groggy and gross? Is it stress? What is it? This is for you to fill out on your own time. Like I said, you can use this moving forward whenever you'd like to become self-aware of where you're struggling the most, and you'll know how to apply the material today in the most effective way. So on the next page, what you're going to see is a letter of positivity. Right? Our biggest critic is ourself, just like I said. The voices inside of your head have the power to dictate the actions that you take because of the emotional value that you put to them. Like, we get so worked up and so amped up, and sometimes we are even heightening our own pain, our own sorrow, and it causes us to act impulsively on what we're feeling in that moment. So if we can begin by changing our self-talk, then we have the power to change our entire belief system. Because what you believe, you become. Cheesy, right? Corny, right? Well, I'm going to help you believe it. I am. So here's what this is. This is an exercise inspired by you. You chose to register for this training, and that tells me that even if you don't see how you could possibly be able to love your body, you haven't given up hope yet. You know that somewhere deep inside of you, there are answers out there. We are so much smarter than we give ourselves credit for, and in honoring the true inner voices Despite the superficial negative voices that override our deep knowing of what is true, we are dedicating this letter to ourselves. I encourage you to dive deep. Give yourself words of encouragement, affirmations, a goal, anything. This is your story. What would you, if you were someone else talking to you, trying to hype yourself up, giving you some encouragement to chase your dreams, what would you say? Right? Let your creative juices flow. So like I said, we're separating our self-worth. We're practicing separating our self-worth from the way that our physical body looks. And the more we can detach from feeling less than because we feel bloated, because we had more cake than we wanted, the better our lives will be. And I promise you that. Your body is the least interesting thing about you. And I'm sure you haven't decided to be someone's friend because of the body that they had. There is so much more to them, right? If you agree with me, let me know down below. And we're going to get started with number 1. The first step that we want to do to work on healing our relationship with food and body image this holiday season is what you want to do starting right now. So we're going to dive into the detox and the rebuild. This section is called the detox and the rebuild. You will see this in your workbook. The page looks like this. Or you can write it in a journal. Phase 1, the detox and the rebuild. So the detox is getting rid of everything or anything in your life that is not serving you at this time. Maybe not everything. Maybe we're just doing our best here, which I know that you are. Don't say cake you had it for breakfast. And filling your room and filling your space with things that bring you light. Okay, so there's 3 areas that we can detox. Area number 1 is the kitchen. You probably knew I was going to say that. Area 1 is the kitchen. How can we purge our kitchen of the things that make us feel bad, things that we are maybe triggered to binge on, things that maybe aren't serving a greater purpose for us at this time? I'm not saying don't have your treats and snacks or whatever, but if there's something that you know is making you unhappy when you eat it, or making you, like, for me, it's chips. I find chips to be like something I just cannot have a few of. So I just try not to keep them around as much. So what are some things that you can maybe take out and clear up space in your cupboards, in your kitchens, in your fridge? What is that for you? I'm not saying everything, right? The holidays are meant to have fun. But how can we create a more stress-free environment so that the first thing we look at when we open the fridge is maybe something that fuels our body and makes us feel good and is more nutritious for us? That we can start to develop the habit of picking that over maybe something that makes us feel really gross and groggy, right? You're more tempted to pick at the thing you see first. And if it's not going to be suitable for what you want, then that's something you have to ask yourself. The second phase, or the second place that you can detox, is the room detox, right? I find that I am the most stressed out when my space is a mess. Sometimes I will have so much going on. I'll have so much to do, but if there's clutter everywhere, I feel mentally just foggy. I feel like I can't focus when I don't have a clean space. You know the smell of a clean room? I know I don't have a clean room like that often, but you know the smell of a clean room? That's what we can do to your room and your office space. How can we declutter? How can we organize so things smell good, so things are inviting, and it's one less thing we have to stress out about over the holidays? And I promise you, you will see the connection between this and everything else if you haven't already made the connection, that the more we can have a stress-free mind and create a stress-free mind by cleansing our environment and inviting things in that make us feel good, the easier it is to listen to our intuition. Because when there's a lot going on in our heads, again, we tend to act impulsively and make decisions based on what we feel. And how we feel is also a direct reflection on our environment to a certain degree, right? Because if my space is full of clutter, I don't feel great. And then that emotion, that stress that I accumulate will maybe cause me to just go snack. Or maybe it will cause me to have anger towards the people that I love, right? So tell me, is your room dirty? Is your office dirty? Can you clean it? I bet you know the answer to that, but you can also answer the questions on this sheet or just write them down. The third, and what I believe to be one of the most important ones. They're actually all very important, and that's the social media detox. Who are you following that is creating an avenue for you to compare yourself? If you struggle with body image and you're following all of these stick thin, I'm not saying they're not beautiful, but if you're following all of these models that you are just idolizing and wanting to know their diets and wanting to look like them, that might be an indicator that that's not a healthy person for you to follow. I always tell people, there is nothing that will make you unhappy faster than caring about the opinions of others, right? So how can we stop ourselves from being in that comparison bubble and comparing ourselves to other people, right? There's enough beauty to go around. Just because somebody is beautiful doesn't mean that I'm not. It doesn't mean they took beauty from me. Just because somebody is successful doesn't mean I can't be. They didn't steal my money. There's enough to go around. But at this time, if it is not healthy for you to follow somebody because you feel badly about yourself when you look at them, unfollow them, right? Nothing against them. It doesn't have to be personal, but we want to prioritize our mental health. So clean up your Facebook feed, clean up your Instagram feed, clean up your Twitter feed or whatever it is for you. Stop watching videos just comparing your body to another, right? You know yourself best. So you'll see on the sheet here that there's a place where you can put what day of the week that you can start to implement these practices in these 3 areas of decluttering. And these are important because I don't want you to leave here and say, yeah, I'll get to it, right? No, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You're going to put which day you're going to work on these things so you can actually begin to implement. And then you're going to put it in your Google Calendar or wherever else you have to put it. All right. So that is phase 1. But I want to end with inviting you to bring stuff in your home, okay? You'll see it on the next page as well, where you can brainstorm a list of things that you can bring back into your home that make you feel good, right? In your room, are you going to bring in plants, right, to purify the air? Are you going to bring in new scents, new candles, right? New aromas that make you feel good? What are you going to invite back into your space? Are you going to maybe have an abundance of veggies and fruits that are pre-made, pre-chopped, or you can chop them yourself, whatever? Are you going to bring in a plethora of nourishing foods that are going to make it easy to get nutrients in? That's how you can refeed your kitchen. And then you can go on and follow people on your social medias, whatever, that inspire you, that make you feel good, that make you want to do better. Like your girl, right? That's a shameless plug. Eden Kira Gold on Instagram and Eden Gold on YouTube. So after we work on what we can detox, think about what you might be able to bring in to keep the energy, the vibes high, right? So the next section. The next section is huge. This might be one of the most important sections, if not the most important, of this whole training. And this section is called Shutting Off Food Rules. Now, I'm just making sure on my Facebook page here that nobody is trying to get into my group right now. Awesome, awesome. So shutting off food rules. Has anybody ever said to themselves, I shouldn't eat this? This has way too much sugar. I need to stop eating by 7 p.m. Have you ever said anything like this to yourself? I should, this is bad, this is good. Those are some examples of food rules, right? And although it can be a great thing to have some guidelines to encourage yourself to eat foods that make you feel energized and nourished and not so groggy, so on and so forth, but it can become unhealthy when you are struggling with your relationship with food, as it can cause you to, again, take impulsive actions based on what you are feeling, right? I don't want you to eat a certain food and feel so guilty about eating it that you are in a state where you feel like you need to restrict the next day, or you need to over exercise to compensate because you had these strict food rules and told yourself you can't eat sugar, which caused you to have this drive to eat it that you could not deny. And then when you ate it, you feel guilty to the point where you feel like you need to restrict the next day. This is what we want to avoid. This is what I call the binge restrict mentality, right? So although guidelines can be good, it's best to practice shutting off these food rules and just letting ourselves be. Of course you want to eat the cake. Of course you want the pumpkin pie. Why should you not eat it? Because you feel like it's going to make you feel gross, which in turn means that you are gross and you are ugly because, again, you think your self-worth is predicated on what your body looks like or what you think it looks like. So you see how all of this is connecting, right? So I want to dive into this and tell you guys what you can do to practice shutting off these food rules. The first thing is giving yourself full permission to eat. Oh my God, I know, it can be so scary. Giving yourself full permission to eat. No food off limits. Why would I say that? Has anyone ever heard of this concept before? Let me know in the comments if you've heard of this concept. It's from a book that I love that helped me throughout the beginning stages of my recovery called The Intuitive Eating Book. So, like I said, when we have these food rules, or when we say, I can't eat this, this is forbidden, I shouldn't, I can't, I won't, what happens is you feel this desire to drive, this almost animalistic drive to eat that food when you get the chance, because you see it as a scarcity. It's not something that is ever going to be there again. I mean, you're never going to eat it again. So you just pig out. Have you been there before? Can you relate to what I'm saying? Right? You just pig out. And then in the back of your head, you're thinking, oh, well, this is the last time I'm ever going to have that food. So I'm just going to go crazy now. And then I'm never going to eat it again. Never going to eat it again. How well has that worked out for you in the past? What I'm trying to tell you is that when you give yourself full permission to eat, although it sounds scary, food loses its huge, overpowering moral value because it's always available, right? Food is in abundance. You can have it whenever you want. And then you will minimize some of the fear around the binging. If it does happen, and it probably will, right? Depending on the stage of your journey that you're in. Once you allow yourself to eat, you might binge, you might overeat, you will feel gross after. But what comes with allowing yourself to eat that food is the guilt that you feel afterwards dramatically decreases because you have allowed yourself to. Being guilty after eating a certain food leads me to believe that you didn't allow yourself to eat it to begin with. And then when you went against your word, it caused massive guilt because you thought you were better than that. And I'm telling you, you are better. Not better than that scenario, but better than feeling guilty about something that should be enjoyed and celebrated, like food. So this is one of the initial practices that I did that, I'm not even kidding when I tell you this, it changed my relationship with food forever. I remember I was so excited when I heard about this concept. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to give myself full permission to eat. I can eat whatever I want. Oh my God, this is crazy. This is so exciting. I wrote about it in my journal. This was in August of 2018, I believe. I wrote it out in my journal and I was like, I'm going to give myself full permission to eat. I'm going to let myself eat whatever I want. And I was so excited because I had never allowed myself to eat food. Every time I ate it, it was because it had been forbidden for so long and I just couldn't stand it anymore. And I just went crazy. But now I had permission. It's a mindset. And I remember going to the store and right when I got there, I was like, I can have whatever I want, like anything. And I went into my favorite aisle, the chip aisle. And I was like, none of this sounds good. I didn't even want anything. I was like, damn, like none of this even sounds like something I want right now. And I ended up leaving with nothing. I ended up leaving the store without a single thing. And I was like, what even happened? Normally I would just like look at chips like they were a god, right? But it lost its value because I could have it whenever I wanted. And then, of course, I went back that night and I got Pringles and a pint of ice cream and I ate it both. But you see what I mean? I can't tell you what your story's going to be. But this is a great thing to start practicing now, maybe in little increments, so that when the holidays come and the parties come, you can try and step into the space of, I'm allowing myself to eat food tonight. So that the repercussions of that after you do eat, even if you do binge, you don't feel as bad. And I'm going to share with you pretty soon here what to do when you're face to face with food and what to do after you've binged. That is coming up, right? So don't be too scared right now if you're feeling nervous, okay? Let me know if you're here with me. Comment down below and say, this makes sense. You'll see on the next page here, again, for people who are just joining, this workbook is in the comments below. You can print it out and use it whenever you'd like. You can come back to this training whenever you'd like. You're going to see this page. What are some of my forbidden foods, right? You're going to fill that out. And then you're going to say, answer, how can I begin challenging them now? Don't overthink it. We're just brainstorming and getting curious with ourselves. How can I eat some of my forbidden foods and allow myself to? And then you're gonna note how you feel maybe. This is actually very exciting when you think about it. I know it can be scary, but you're changing the nature of your most ingrained habits that aren't serving you. And I know you want better and different. So start small, right? So the next phase we're gonna go into is the pre-party. I know we've been talking about what to do before the party happens, but these are crucial. So if you have a paper and pen, get ready to take some notes. If you have this, follow along the pre-party. I got really thirsty all of a sudden. So during this time, this is a good chance to practice, again, separating your self-worth from your body, because a lot of people, most people, if not all, I'm going to make that claim right now, if not all, most people who struggle with their relationship with body image have this thing where they like to body check. Body check. They wake up and they look at their body in the mirror. And depending on what they see dictates how they feel, right? So you wake up, you look at your body in the mirror, and you just don't think you look good. And all of a sudden, you're in a bad mood. Not all day, or not for a couple moments, not for an hour, all day. Just because you don't think you look good. And it changes your whole mood. Have you ever been there? Have you? So my recommendation, Practice refraining from body checking at this time. I know it's hard. I know we want to look at our body and compare it to how we looked yesterday, but this approach that I'm teaching you here today, this is a long-term approach. This is how we're going to set the foundation and everything that we need for the rest of our lives. And I don't say that lightly. So we want to focus on how we feel, not how we look. So wake up in the morning and ask yourself, how do I feel right now? If you feel good, great, leave it at that. You don't need to look at your naked body in the mirror to prove yourself wrong and say, oh, I guess I'm not worthy of feeling good anymore because I don't think I look good, right? You see what I mean? And then if you wake up and you're like, I don't feel great. I feel groggy. I ate a lot last night. Great. End of story. You don't need to justify why that is true by looking at your body in the mirror. What is the purpose of that? It doesn't matter. I can promise you right now, I am my happiest when I'm not looking at my body. Not all the time. Sometimes I look and I'm like, dang girl, but it's because I've done the work. But whenever I'm feeling badly about myself, why do I need to look at my body to justify why that's true? I get it, right? I just need to focus on the things that make me feel good. So we want to practice not body checking, especially after a binge, you know? Try to refrain from weighing yourself and calorie counting unless medically advised, right? I'm not going to give blanket statements. We all have our reasons, but it goes into the same thing as the first one. What is it doing for you? Yes, you might have more water weight. Yes, you might be feeling gross. You might weigh a little bit more for the holidays. So what? So what? You're not an ugly, unworthy, unbeautiful human. You don't deserve to hate on yourself because of that. If your friend told you, I gained a couple holiday pounds, would you say, oh, you're ugly, you suck? No. So why would you say it to yourself? I know, Eden, easier said than done. I get it, which is why I'm telling you or suggesting to you to not weigh yourself, right? Smash your scale. Throw it over a cliff. Throw it over a cliff, right? Use this as your memo. I'll do it for you. And when you do it, tag me on Instagram with a picture of your broken scale at Eden Cure Gold so I can share it and shout you out. 3, find an alternative activity to do instead of indulgence. You cannot just willpower your way out of your strong, impulsive desire to eat, right? Willpower is BS. I made a whole video on this. on my YouTube channel. It's Eden Gold. I just uploaded it yesterday. Go check that out. It's all about why willpower is total BS. But if you're feeling this drive, all you're going to think about is food until you finally cave and you eat. And one of the most effective things that I have found that work is to replace that activity with something else. You may have heard this before, but you cannot stop a bad habit, without replacing it with another, right? You can't just tell a smoker to stop smoking cold turkey and then not expect them to have massive amounts of stress and anxiety when they would have normally grabbed a cigarette, but now they don't. So now they're left like not even knowing what to do. So we want some sort of activity that we can do during these times because we want to get into something that I like to call a flow state, right? Because you can tell somebody this all day. You can say, yeah, do another activity. I've heard that before, but here's what I mean. Maybe you start journaling immediately. All of the feelings that you're feeling, you just start to journal. And you're thinking about food still, but you're trying to journal. And then it's hard. It's very hard. But what happens is after doing that for a few minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, is you get into what I like to call a flow state, which is where your energy just gets so channeled into the activity at hand that it has the power to even take your mind entirely off of food or at least distract you for a while so you can become more in tune with your intuition and in tune with your gut. I promise you, that this is one of the most powerful activities that I do to this day when I am eating impulsively and I am not hungry. I'm telling you, this is great. This is gold right here. Channel your energy into something else and get over that initial hump of this sucks, this isn't working, I'm thinking about food still, da da. Once you get over that, it's the people who push on and keep going when things are hard that make it, that heal their relationship with food. So keep going, get into that flow state and just let your energy flow. There's a couple of prompts here and I'll just read them to you for those who don't have the book. What is a flow state, right? You can answer that so you always have it. What might I do in times when I feel a strong urge to binge or eat past fullness, right? Brainstorm activities. Is it painting? Is it calling someone? Something that you can channel your energy into. I am going to have to move a little bit faster. I have 20 minutes. It's party time. It is party time. This is our next section. This section is awesome. What do you do when you're face to face with food? When you're at the party, when you're like doing your thing, you know? When the family's around. Number one, you need to prepare in advance. You need to have somebody to talk to. Somebody prepared that you can text or step away and call when you are feeling uneasy, when you are having anxiety, feeling stressed out around food or around family members. It's okay to step away. It's okay to say, I need to use the bathroom, and stay in there to text your go-to person. Find somebody, whether it's a pen pal in a Facebook group, right? Message me, I'm here for you, and I have opportunities to work one-on-one with you that I'll share with you in just a minute, so I can be here to hold you accountable during those times and give you comfort. Everybody needs somebody. We want somebody who can relate to us and minimize some of the fear that we need in any given moment. It's hard to do this by yourself. So have somebody. Practice giving yourself full permission to eat, right? We know if you celebrate Christmas, we know Christmas is on December 25th. So maybe you journal the week leading up to it and you say, okay, December 25th, I'm giving myself full permission to eat, right? And try and step into that space of allowing yourself to eat, because food is abundant and it's meant to be enjoyed. The holidays are meant to be enjoyed. So practice. And that's why we're starting early with practicing, so we can really set the foundation and dip our toes in. 3, don't be afraid to step away from the table in times of stress or anxiety. And 4, know how to handle comments from family. Ooh, comments from family, right? We all have that grandma who's like, honey, you've gotten thick this year. My old pa said that to me. And of course it's harmless, but you know, families, ill-intended or not, probably not, they don't mean to cause you harm, but people like to make body comments and they like to comment on how much food you're eating. But the truth is having a not so great relationship with food or body image is something that so many more people struggle with that we even know about. So the chances are the person you're about to comment on their body, they might be struggling with something and you don't even know. So when you make that comment, they internalize it and it starts to fuel maybe their unhealthy behaviors. If you're calling them, oh, you look thin, you look great. Maybe they didn't do something healthy to get there. Maybe they were binging and purging or restricting. And now that you said they look great, you've attached value to their weight. And now they might go and do it more. You see what I mean? So try and refrain from commenting on how much food your family's eating and commenting on their body. And here's some of the things you can say. I wrote them down. I'm just going to read off some of them to you. If your family comments, you can say things like, hey, you don't need to worry about this. I got it. Or, we both have different tastes in food, and I'm eating what I want, you're eating what you want. If you're somebody who's in treatment for disordered eating disorders, you can say, I'm working with my team. Thank you. And if someone comments on the amount of food that you're eating, you can say, let's see. Well, it's so good. How could I not? Sorry, I wanted to make sure that I was giving you guys some good stuff. But honestly, you can even throw in a joke there and say, if someone says you're going to eat that much, you can say you're going to eat that little and just laugh it off, right? No ill intentions, right? Keep it lighthearted. But honestly, if you know that you're taking a step in the right direction and you're trying, just be confident and telling them straight up how it is, you know? Maybe say, you don't need to worry about what I'm eating, thank you. Or, I've been working on accepting my body, so I don't need to hear your comments on my body, right? We have options, okay? So the tip number 3. Oh yeah, shutting off food rules, I already said that one. Okay, sorry, I was getting a call. Chuck, sorry about that. So, okay, number 4. The fourth thing that you're going to do, and this is a bonus tip I have for you, is to eat slowly, right? Oftentimes when we feel guilt around food, we're tempted to eat as fast as we can because we don't even want to be eating that food. So we want to get it out of the way as fast as possible, right? So we're just scarfing it down because we're not feeling great about it anyways, but we know we're not going to stop. Well, let's stop doing that. Let's slow down and invite our emotions to surface as they would, right? Chew your food very slowly until it is liquefied. I know it's gross. Right before you're about to swallow, keep chewing it. Here's what it will do for you. It will, 1, aid in your digestion, right? It will help you with the digestive process to maybe eliminate some of the bloat. And then also, doing this is so dang gross that you will have the same taste in your mouth for so long. So the chances are you won't even want that same amount of food as you would if you were to scarf it down. You'll get full a lot quicker, right? So slow down, put your fork down between each bite, and know your resources. So you're gonna see, if you have the worksheet, some tools to prepare yourself, and the questions are, what might my family say to me that could make me uncomfortable? And what could I say to handle it effectively, right? So this is for you. Now the after party. Woo! I believe this is our last section as well, so we are perfect on time. So what do you do when you overeat and feel guilty? What do you do? Number 1, don't act impulsively, right? We want to separate our emotions from our logic, and emotionally, you might be driven, again, to restrict, to overcompensate, but I promise you, this is not what you want to do to heal your relationship with food. This is not even what you want to do to minimize holiday weight gain or minimize the fear around food. It's really not good for anything. It'll put you in that binge restrict mentality. I also have a video of this on my YouTube channel. So just sit with it. Let your feelings surface. This is a great opportunity to use journaling. We're a lot smarter than we give ourselves credit for, and sometimes by releasing our thoughts onto a sheet of paper, we can make sense of them. I promise you. Switch to neutral body talk, right? I know you're going to look at yourself in the mirror. I know you're going to look at your body. I know you're going to degrade yourself. I know it's going to happen. I can tell you all day and night not to, and I want you to get to that point. But if you do, let's switch to neutral body talk. Instead of, oh, I'm disgusting, I'm fat, I blew it, da-da-da. I look at myself in the mirror and I say, I have a body. Yep, that's a body. Just like it was yesterday. That is a body. That is a good body. That is a smart body. Remind yourself that your body is the smartest biocomputer in the world. It knows exactly what to do with the food that you give it. So the more we can tap into our biological cues, even the day after, and not act based on what we think we should do, but just listen to what our bodies are telling us, the better we'll be, right? So those are some of the best things that you can do after you've binged. And when you're hungry, eat, right? Even if you feel like you shouldn't eat as much because you ate yesterday, it's that binge restrict mentality. You are more susceptible to just eating a lot more because you're going to be ravenous by the end of the day, right? So I have a couple more tips for you, and then I'm going to get into the closing of all of this. If you have stuck with me this long, I'm so happy. Thank you so much. Don't listen to the voice inside of your head that's telling you to restrict. That is your immediate impulsive voice. Try to dig deeper than that. What is the right thing to do? What is my body asking of me, telling me? And then use all of the tools I've mentioned in this training. Try to refrain from weighing yourself the day after or body checking, just like I've said before, right? These tools all come full circle to help you. Get in some good nutrition to your body, because the truth is, if you're eating a bunch of unhealthy snacks, which, duh, you should, but you should also be fueling your body with the vitamins and minerals that it needs, because these more unhealthy, more processed foods, although they fill us up temporarily, because they lack in those fibers, those proteins, the nutritional components that our bodies truly need, you'll be hungry a lot quicker. So how can we kind of hack the system and incorporate more nutritionally dense foods in the meals that aren't going to be maybe the main meal, because the main meal might not be, all that healthy? How can we squeeze in nutrition and minerals and any other opportunity that we get? This will not only minimize holiday weight gain, but this will make you feel better and not as groggy, right? When we feel gross, everything in our life just gets more stressed out, right? We're more irritable, we're more angry. About 95% of the serotonin, right, the happy chemical produced in your body, is produced by your gut. People don't think that your food affects your mood, but it does. So when we eat things that actually make us feel good, like the vitamins and minerals and nutritionally dense foods, we feel better. So how can we have a nice balance of the two, right? Not one or the other, a balance. And then we're going to journal. So you're going to see all of this in this worksheet. Again, if you haven't downloaded it, it's in the links in the comments. You're going to have some extra notes for thoughts. Your whole recap is going to be right here. A letter to yourself, the detox and the rebuild, shutting off food rules, pre-party actions, it's party time, and it's party time exercises, and the after party. The most important thing that you can do is know your triggers. What time of day do you start thinking about food the most? What time of day do you find yourself binging or having strong urges to binge? What actions led up to you feeling this way? How has your day gone up until that point? Did you eat a nutrient-dense and filling breakfast? Are you bored? Play with these and refer back to this page if you need. You guys, this is a free document that's going to help guide you. So who feels like I have shown them a lot and I have just been saying a whole lot? Because I do. Although I believe in you wholeheartedly and I know you can do it, I also know that this was kind of a lot. So how do we put this into play and really set ourselves up for success? Well, I have 2 options for you that can really help you in moving forward. I want to invite you guys to some programs and to some things and opportunities that I have to work with me. So the first one is going to be starting in the new year, right? One of the things that makes us stressed about the holiday season is the new year. New Year's resolutions, you've maybe failed a million times, you've maybe succeeded for a couple of weeks. This has happened to all of us because we don't have practice and that foundation and the systems in place to succeed. We don't know how to accept the failure. We don't know how to pivot when things aren't working out. And so we just assume we're a failure, right? We've all been there. And unless you know how to handle the negative emotions that come up when you're trying to reach your goals come the new year, you're not going to reach them. And you're going to say, screw it, and go back to exactly what you were doing before. But you need a system. You need a guide that is going to help you every step of the way develop that foundation to having the best relationship with food, body image, and your New Year's goals as you can. So that's why I'm introducing to you the 10-week Mindset Transformational program. This is a program that is hosted by me. And what you can see it on the sheet if you have the worksheet, but what you are going to get with this program is a 10-module course taking your New Year's resolutions from start to finish, building you a game plan to succeed, how to handle the negative and the bad days, and how to pivot And we're going to be going over things like psychology and the mindset component to New Year's resolutions. We're going to be going over nutrition. We're going to be going over stress. We're going to be going over so much every single week, and it starts on January 1st. I would love for you to be a part of this program. You're going to get worksheets. You're going to get one-on-one coaching from me. You're going to get access to me as your coach. You're really going to have everything that you need to set yourself up for success come the new year. You're going to get 5 one-on-one calls with me to get clarity, ask questions, and have personal guidance as you begin to build strong and new habits. You're going to have my goal setting formula, helping you brainstorm, structure, and implement your goals, your daily tasks without the guesswork. You're going to have access to my weekly grocery list and meal prep list to set you up for success on your body-loving journey. And you're going to have first access to future discounts and freebies all year long that are going to set you up for success for a lifetime. Oh, but that's not all. I have 2 bonuses for you. You knew I couldn't just leave you hanging without that. You are going to be getting a free copy of my ebook, 21 Days to Quiet Your Inner Bully. This ebook came out in 2017. I'm revamping the whole thing in 2021, and you are going to get a free copy. It's an interactive workbook to instill the trainings that we have just been doing all of last year, all of this year. You're going to get so much mindset stuff, affirmations, like all kinds of goodness. Bonus number 2, you are going to get weekly affirmations sent to your inbox every single week to take the guesswork out of what to say to yourself. How do I begin affirmations? Self-talk is a weird thing, right? You're going to be getting that as well. So this offer is valid for 48 hours. This is a $469 value that is yours, and you can click the link to get it for $169. And I have payment plans for you. Everything is included. I'm here for you 100% of the way. Go ahead and claim that offer by clicking in the link in your worksheet, but I'll also put it in the notes of this so you can get access to that. So that is going to be your offer number 1 if you want one-on-one support from me. But if you want support from me and coaching from me and accountability from me for the holiday season, then I have a 3-part coaching program, an opportunity to have 3 live coaching calls with me anytime for the remainder of the year. Right? These are going to be 1-hour sessions, and we are going to take a deep dive into everything that we've learned in this training today. We're going to set you up a game plan to succeed, and you're going to have me as a resource when you are in the middle of all of this, right? You need someone to turn to who gets it. And I completely understand you. So I want to give this to you as a way for you to have a resource that you need. Because the one thing I wish I had more of was somebody to understand me, someone who knew what I was going through. So you can also click that. I'll post a link when the training is over, but you can also click the link of your ebook. And this is a $149 value. Yours for $49. You get 3 hours one-on-one with me whenever you'd like. So that is all I have for you guys today. These offers are going to be valid only for a limited amount of time. The slots are going to fill up. I'm very busy this holiday season, but this is my way of giving back to you. My way of giving back to you and wanting to really take you from point A to point B, C, D, so on and so forth. Right? This is your time. I know you're here for a reason. So why stop now? Why not keep going? Minimize some of that fear, especially if you have a family, especially if there's already a million other things going on. How are you expected to prioritize yourself? I'm here to tell you right now that when you fall short in your mental health and your stress, when you fall short of that, your family suffers. They're not getting the best version of you. They're not getting the you that is its best self, its most vivacious self. So putting yourself first is absolutely necessary. And I know that if you're here at this training today, then that's exactly what you want to do. But I know that it's hard to do. So I'm here with you. This is my gift to you, my present to you. These discounts only come every so often, so take advantage while you can. I will see you guys on the other side. Right when you sign up, you will get a video from me with all the information that you need before we get started. And thank you for coming to my second annual training, Loving Your Body Through the Holiday Seasons. Now, I will be taking all questions over my email because I have another call I have to get on, but I hope you guys liked it. Let me know what you thought. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you want to see more of if you're excited to implement this. Don't forget your book. This is the most valuable asset that you can have this holiday season to prioritize yourself. You guys, this is like 25 pages of goodness, okay? So I love you guys so much. Check out my YouTube channel for even more free resources. That's just Eden Gold, and thank you for coming to this training. All right, guys, I'm so excited for you to get body loving. Peace.